Welcome back to Analytical Media. We are a consortium, a group of therapists, college professors, and well-published peer-reviewed authors. Today's question: does everything happen for a reason? You've heard many people say that. You fail your math test. Well, it happened for a reason. You wreck your car. It happened for a reason. This is a concept that goes way back to Fatalism, a concept that says that everything has been predetermined. You were fated to fail that test. You were fated to wreck your car, and it made no difference, and would have made no difference. What you did or would have done would have made no difference. What it does, in effect, is take away all responsibility from people. It doesn't matter what you do. It has no impact on what will happen in life. No matter what you do, it will have no impact on whether or not you pass that test tomorrow. No matter what you do in life, it makes no difference whether you invest in a particular stock or not. It makes no difference if you mortgage the house to invest in a new get-rich-quick scheme. It makes no difference. Because it doesn't matter what you do. Everything happens for a reason. It doesn't matter how you raise your children. It doesn't matter how you were raised. Because everything happens for a reason. That's the belief. Fatalism goes way back and continues. So it's a comforting thing that it doesn't matter what you do. You don't have to research your investments. You don't have to think about whether or not you should speed down the highway, whether or not you should go 55 in the school zone, because if you run over some kid, you would have run over him anyway if you'd been going 12 miles an hour. Everything happens for a reason. Nothing could be further from the truth. Every day you are faced with many decisions, whether or not you should study for tomorrow's test, whether or not you should go to the gym. And if you believe that everything happens for a reason, then if you pass the test tomorrow, it had nothing to do with the preparation. It was fated. Whether or not you have a heart attack has nothing to do with your going to the gym. You might have been the most successful member of an exercise club imaginable, but you still would have had the heart attack. Makes no difference. It's fated. Yet in reality, I think we can understand that our actions have consequences. Our actions determine our success in life, our happiness in life, or our failure in life, and unhappiness. Should you marry this person? Well, it doesn't matter anyway, because all things happen for a reason. If you marry them, there was a reason why the marriage worked out, or there was a reason why the marriage didn't work out, but it didn't have anything to do with you. When something bad happens in life, it is comforting to hear, don't worry about it. Everything happens for a reason. Your wife and 3 children are killed in a car accident. Don't worry. Everything happens for a reason. It was a good thing. There was a reason for it. God wanted it to be this way. But did God want it to be that way? I doubt it sincerely. You take some drugs during your pregnancy. Your child is born with a birth defect that science shows is related to that drug use. If you had not used the drug, would your child not have been born with a defect? No, a fatalist says no, the child would have been born with a defect. It doesn't matter what you do. Makes no difference, because everything happens for a reason. If something bad happened, there was a reason for it. It does not mean the obvious. It does not mean that your actions created your problems. or your lack of action created your problem or problems. It means, hey, it was going to happen anyway. Everything happens for a reason. Fatalism. There's a plan, and the plan says that you wreck your car today, or your two children die in an automobile accident today. There's a plan. There's a reason. Now, was that good for the children, or was that good for you? Were the children part of the plan? As I said, that's an easy way out. You've heard it said, the expression, what will be, will be. Fatalism. Makes no difference what you do. It's a comforting feeling. It's liberating to know you can do whatever you want, because no matter what you do, the same thing's going to happen. It's an illusion that you have any control over your life. Everything is fated. Everything is scripted. Of course, that's a ridiculous concept. It's asinine. It is beyond belief. And it's old. It goes way back, literally thousands of years. If you look at most people, if you look at your friends, family members, the ones who are prospering are the ones who have worked towards that. It's the ones who made the right decisions, and the ones whose lives are a mess are the ones who've made bad decisions. Things you could have told them were wrong, and perhaps did. You might have said, hey, if you do that, you're going to hurt yourself, and sure enough, they did it, and they hurt themselves. It doesn't matter if you allow your children to play on the roof. Makes no difference. Because if they were supposed to fall off the roof, they will. And if they're not supposed to fall off the roof, they won't. So you can let them play on a roof. It's not your choice. There's no choice. They're going to fall off the roof if they were fated to do so. Obviously, your children should not play on the roof. To do so would be extremely dangerous. However, many people believe that it does not matter what decisions they make in life, because they will have no impact on the direction or the course of their life. So they cannot make good decisions and make their life better, and they can't make bad decisions to make their life worse, because what will be will be. Everything happens for a purpose. I mean, what is the purpose? You're playing a part in somebody else's play. Everything's been scripted. You can't help your children. You can't help the world. You have no responsibilities of any kind. Believing that takes all responsibility from you. If you were supposed to pass the test tomorrow, you're going to pass it. Everything is predetermined. Everything happens for a purpose. If you think about it, that's a totally ridiculous idea. If your child is dying of a blood disease, are we really supposed to believe that God or fate determined that was the best thing? There's a good of this. Your child is it's predetermined. Your child's dying, suffering. Are we going to believe that that's for a reason? It's kind of comforting though, isn't it? Like, well, this is terrible, but there must be some reason why this happened. Some reason God wanted this to happen. There's good that's going to come out of this. That's asinine at best. Is there? Please, when you see the suffering in this world, do you honestly think that there's good coming from that? Especially with an innocent animal or a child. You see the heart-rending commercials for animal abuse, commercials to get donations to help end animal abuse. You see the tiny kittens that are suffering and the tiny puppies that are suffering. and they want you to send in $20 a month and only 67 cents per day or whatever it is. Do you think there's a purpose for that? And then if there is a purpose for it, why are we donating money to stop something that God intended to occur? And how could you stop it if it was fated to have occurred? So believing that everything happens for a purpose is believing in fatalism. Believing in fatalism says it makes no difference what you do in life. It takes away all responsibility. It is just another unfounded simplification of reality. It is very important what you do, and every decision you make will help you prosper or hurt you. If you think that investing all your money, getting a mortgage on your home and investing in a stock makes no difference, because if you lose all your money, it happened for a purpose, it happened for a reason, then it makes you irresponsible and it makes you feel free to invest. Because if it was supposed to be good, if it was fated to be good, and it is, because it's something, and the saying is all things, which your something would be part of, all things happen for a purpose, then there's nothing you can do. And when it says that all things happen for a purpose, what does that say about things that don't happen? It doesn't. Does it say you did not lose your house? You did not. So that's something that didn't happen. And that happened for a reason or a purpose. And obviously, it happened for a reason or a purpose, either because it was fated that you wouldn't lose your house, or you made the right decision to invest or not invest. It's a comforting expression, and it should not be. It's the opposite. It misleads people. You need to be very responsible in your decisions in life. You need to research out everything, attempting to gather as much information as possible so that you might make a good decision. As I've said many times in the classroom, if the laws of physics, science now, say that you can take that turn in your car on an icy road, the road's icy, you're coming to a curve, the laws of physics say with your tires in this condition, you can take that turn at 69.5 miles an hour or less. If you take that turn at 70 miles an hour, you're going to wreck your car, maybe destroy your life, maybe lose your life. And we know that to be true. So it's not up to you how fast you can drive, or for that matter, how high you can jump. Can you will yourself to jump 8 feet straight up? No. For that matter, can you will yourself to fly? You could will yourself to jump off a bridge that's 100 feet above the water. You could do that, but you can't will yourself to fly. That's reality. So, as you maneuver through reality, as you find reality everywhere around you, your very existence is based in reality. That's your home base. You're surrounded by reality. If you're going to do well, you need to understand that reality. When you understand reality, you can make better decisions. Don't invest in that stock. Don't believe the car salesman that tells you this is the best car ever built. Do the research. Find out to make the best decision possible. If you're depressed, were you fated to be depressed? Did it matter that you beat your wife verbally or physically? Did it matter? Is that why she left you and you're depressed? Or are you going to say, well, everything happens for a reason. It was fated. It happened. It was supposed to happen. Well, obviously, some of you out there may believe that, and I feel sorry for you. I truly do. But the people who get it, do you get it? That what you do matters? You know, you should feed your kid nutritious food, not give them all sugary stuff. You shouldn't listen to the guy next door or your friend or somebody on a chat board, a chat room, a message board. Don't listen to them, their opinions on things. Look it up. Research it. You can do it. You certainly need to do that. Once again, this is Analytical Media. I hope that you've enjoyed what you just listened to. There's plenty more of this. Come back. Look at our other things. And the best way to do that is to subscribe to the channel because you'll be notified. If you don't care to be notified, if this is it, you don't want any more on the subject of life, philosophy, psychology, and everything pertinent to those topics, mental health, famous psychological and psychoanalytic theories. If those things are of interest to you, you should subscribe because that's what we're going to do. We're looking at the nature of existence from a purely scientific, psychological, philosophical viewpoint. So, hope to communicate with you again. And don't forget to send in your questions to the email address provided or put them down in the comments. We will go where you want us to go. We need your feedback. So, this is Analytical Media. Hope everything's going well for you. And we'll see you the next time we post.